Hello there, everybody. Solo Play Sunday. This episode is all about playing TTRPGs solo. And for today, we have the offering of Star Wars, a role playing game from West End Games, the D6 systems, which I have covered in previous videos and will cover again in future videos. I see y'all are enjoying my Droids videos. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the views and the clicks and likes. Appreciate it. We have an adventure to get into today. This is going to be a little bit of a two-parter, or the first full adventure of our droid campaign. When last we saw, our droids had completed a supply run, a one-drop point delivery, as they say in tramp freighters, and had delivered their cargo and had took on a new contract, the details of which will become relevant very soon. But we cut away from that episode and we launch right into this one. Of course, it's Star Wars. We have the title scroll, the music blares. We open into space, deep space, where there is no life but only the cold glintering of stars. And suddenly, a there's a flash of light as a vessel exits hyperspace, comes into play, and is obviously drifting without power. And it is our intrepid droid crew. Previously, we did not detail what kind of tramp freighter they were flying around in. It is a 720 Gatroc freighter, yes. The turtle design that is in the thumbnail. So we see their ship adrift in space, obviously downpowered. Inside the ship, it is chaos. Alarms and klaxons are wailing. There's a major malfunction. Systems are overloading. The ship is on fire. There is panic among certain members of the droid crew. Specifically, Kobe is a little mouse droid and he's spinning himself in circles saying, everything's blowing up, there's fire everywhere, we're gonna die. The alarms detail that they have lost life. There's a automated voice saying life support lost. And Kobe's like, we're gonna die, which of course sets off Gunk, and he's like, Gunk, 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 and he's very afraid. They're both panicking, just setting each other off. Where Ellie, our 3PO unit, calms both of them. It's like, may I remind you that we are droids. We do not require life support. And they kind of, Kobe and Gunk are looking at each other like, oh, that's right, we're droids. We don't need life support. But anyway, IGs, may I remind you that the ship is on fire. 3Z, the little buddy here. Yes, R43Z, an R4 astromech droid, who is our backup pilot and our techie and our, kind of grizzled old droid, and R5BM bomber, who is the pilot, and all he wants to do is fly. Both of them start, looking at the systems and what little power they have is detailing an absolute mess. 3Z, let's see here. We've got our first rolls of the game, first rolls of the session. Actually, Gunky is going to plug in because he has, as a power droid, he has an excellent suite of diagnostics. So he is going to bust out now to diagnose the problems. He's going to run it through the computer and get a readout of everything that's going on and inform the crew. He would roll his tech ability score, and more specifically, his computer program report. His tech is 3 dice, so we pull out the 3 dice. Remember, we got to have our luck die. But he has 2 more extra dice because of computer programming. This is an easy difficulty, and we're going to set the target number at 8. Wow, yeah. He has 21, so he beats the easy 8 roll by leaps and bounds. And in his unique droid language, gong, 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 it informs them, hey, this is all that's wrong. The heavy fusion generator is in safe mode. It has apparently been suffering a feedback loop, and to avoid exploding and destroying everyone on the ship, it kind of shut down into a safe mode. The shipboard computer is malfunctioning. The sensors are blown. The life support is blown. Fire control and the laser turret has flared and gone dark. Lights have blown. Tracking on the nav computer is gone. Now, I remind you that the nav computer is the storage house and the computer that's used to run the the calculations and keeping the map coordinates they needed for hyperspace. Without that, you bounce too close to a star or end up in a supernova, and that ends you something real quick, as Han would say. So no hyperspace. That's why they exited hyperspace because the hyperspace is for all intents and purposes non-functional right now. The atmospheric seals have been compromised. However, that is from damage incurred in the previous adventure where they were boarded by pirates. Pirates who put holes in the hull. So now their atmosphere has drained away to critical levels, but they're droids, so they're okay. Now, Gunky is further going to try to determine why the fusion generator went into safe mode. This is a little bit more difficult. We're going to go for an easy rank 10 computer programming repair roll. 79. He misses it by 1 point. He's not 100% sure why it tripped and went in safe mode. However, 3Z, the default repair droid on board, is telling him, don't worry about it. We need to fix stuff right now. So he disengages from his co-pilot section while Bomber is just grabbing the controls and just being like, I've got no power. I can't fly this thing. Why can't I fly this thing? So 3Z unhooks himself and goes to see about putting out some fires. He will need three, because there are three fires. He's going to need three easy 7 space transport rolls. 3Z has a space transport repair of 4 dice. So he's going to grab his luck die and 3 other dice, and he's going to make 3 rolls trying to hit a 7 or better total. The first one is good. We have a 16. 1 fire to put out. We have 2 more to put out. Oh, we have a 6 on the luck die. When you roll a 6 in Star Wars D6, you roll it again. And we got a 2. Now, if that had been a 6, we just keep rolling. But anyway, so we got 16 total on that one. So that fire put out as well. One last fire to put out as he's rolling around with his little fire extinguisher. And the last one is nice. 15. Nice. So yes, all 3 fires are put out by our intrepid little R4. And he's starting to assess the damage. He's going to try computer program repair roll 4 dice. It is the same difficulty as Gunky had. And oh, he rolls a 6 on the luck die again. And then rolls a 5. So there's he's total of 20. He determines that there were shorts along the main power pylon throughout the ship, which then diverted power to the support systems, which overloaded them and blew the system. So basically, their old clunker of a ship that they have incurred massive debt from Boers, Karu, in acquiring had a malfunction, which turned into a major malfunction. Not catastrophic, they're still alive, so. But yeah, there's going to be some repairs needed. So, as they are investigating their options, planning, there is an alert from the cargo bay. Warning, connect alternate power. Warning, connect alternate power. Gunky's going to go down and investigate while 3Z and the others determine what needs to be done. Now, I actually made a mistake earlier. Like I said, he has this nice suite of scanners and diagnostics that actually give him 1 more dice than what's on his character sheet here, because as long as those apply, and they do in this situation. He's diagnosing, so instead of 5D, he actually gets 1 more because of his nice suite of diagnostic software and hardware. And oh my goodness. Now here we go. The luck die rolled a natural one. That can be one of two things. Either it can be a complication or it can simply take away from your highest rolled dice. I'm going to go that route because I'm excited. I want to keep the action moving. Now one of the sixes he's rolled, we're going to take away with the luck die. However, he still has, good lord, 15. No, I'm sorry, 17. And this was a easy 8 computer program repair to check on the cargo pod. So he gets a diagnostic. Whoop, there went a dice. We bring extra. He gets a diagnosis of what's going on with this cargo pod. Basically, it has some manner of life support. It has a sealed system. So the loss of life support throughout the ship tripped its own onboard life support, which has a readout that it has 2 hours of power left. And Gunky's just kind of like, well, I'm a power droid. Worst comes to worst, I'll hook up to it. But, he trots back up to the bridge, gark, 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 and informs the folks the rest of the crew saying, hey, we have a situation. The pod that we were hired to carry from one point to another being paid 5,000 credits. Suspicious, but we'll get to that later. It has activated its own life support, so whatever is in it needs life support. It's reasonable to assume it's some form of life that doesn't react well to exposure to space. And he warns everybody, saying, "Hey, we need to get that thing hooked up to either me or the ship, restore the ship power within 2 hours, or it goes kaput." Ellie reminds them the contract specifically states that the cargo is to remain alive. If it should perish, forfeiture of all credits. So, yeah, if it dies, no money. And there'll probably be more repercussions as well. So, they formulate a plan. What are we going to do with our adrift ship? First thing is to restore the main power conduit. This will be a very easy 5 roll for space transport repair. All it requires is to run fresh wiring. Now, to find some alternate fresh wiring, all the droids are sent out through the ship to try to find some redundant wiring that can be pulled to help use in this capacity. Now, ironically, IG, being a hunter droid, has an excellent search rank. So he is actually going to be the guy that they're going to entrust to find the wiring. So we have 5 dice, but he has 7, so we're going to add 2 more. This will also be, we're going to say that was a very easy 5 to repair. We're going to say it's going to be easy 10 to find the right wiring. The freighter itself has all kinds of redundant systems and alternates and such. Their cargo bay has a bunch of junk in it. So we're going to take it easy on. Yep, there we go. We got 16, 20, 21 total. And as IG locates the wiring, alternate wiring located, terminate, retrieving. Sorry, he just defaults to terminate for some reason. I don't know, it's weird. So he starts pulling wire and through the comm system, lets everybody know saying, hey, I found the wiring. We're good. So that takes a little bit of time. During that time, they send Bomber and Ellie down to the cargo bay to find some spare parts and start cleaning them. They're all dirty and gunky and nasty. So they bust out the cleaning supplies, and Bomber, of course, makes a rude astromech noise. You know. Oh, I don't think R2 doesn't approve of this. Say hi to everybody, R2. But yes, Bomber, the expert pilot, has been reduced to cleaning dirty parts. So is Ellie, the protocol droid. Ellie manages it much better than Bomber does. Bomber has a bit of a sense of self-importance, and this task is obviously beneath him. So they start cleaning systems. IG's pulling the wiring. They get their ducks in a row to make a roll. 3Z is going to space transport repair once they pulled all the wiring they need. And he has 4 dice. So there we go. We got our 4 dice. This is very easy 5 to rewire everything. This will take an hour, though. So they're going to be cutting it, kind of close on the life support system. Oh, natural 6 on the luck die for the space transport repair. Rolls a 2, so we're at 8. And another 19, 20, 22 total. He shoots past the difficulty of 5. Like I said, these are easy rules. All it is rewiring. Anyone can do this. You just got to run through and get it hooked back up. After an hour's time, they finally get all their ducks in a row. They go to click on the power. The ship powers up nicely. However, they still have just a litany of blown systems before they can get underway. Gunky will take care of running power to the pod. Gronk, gronk, gronk. Yes, he is an expert in this. We're actually giving him comp prog repair, and he is going to be able to use his little suite of diagnostics and little helper programs and such because this falls right under his purview as a power droid. Normally he'd have 5D, however, with his extra he has 6D. He is rolling 6 dice trying to hit a very easy target number of 5. Oh, natural 6 on the luck die again. My goodness gracious. No, the 3s are 9, 10, 20, 28. Yes. The life pod disengages its warning system, letting everybody know that it has lost power. Its power restored. The life support begins to function as it should. Everybody breathes a collective sigh of relief as they see their payday has been, saved from imminent demise with only an hour to spare. Actually, probably a little less than an hour to spare. So they were cutting it just a touch close, but it's okay. Gonk, gonk, gonk. Gonk does a little victory dance for, Power Droid victory dance. Gonk, 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 gonk. Meanwhile, 3Z, is slaving away on the repair still. And poor Bomber is just throwing a little hissy fix. Yes, keep cleaning these supplies. So, first, actually, we're going back to Gunky again after he's done doing his little celebration dance. The life support system has a bug in the programming, which falls under the purview of computer programming repair instead of space transport repair. Again, he's got his. We're actually not going to give him his diagnosis die. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you know what? This does fall under because it's diagnosing the problem and letting him know how to fix it. Now, he's going to fix this as kind of like a redundant backup. The pod itself has its life support hooked up to the main power, but it would be nice if the ship had, restored life support. Let's see, this has a variable difficulty. Depending on what he rolls, will determine how much of the life support is restored. I'll explain after we roll here. Oh, and he rolls a natty 6 again. My goodness, Gunky has found his calling. It's a 1, 7, 10, 16, 22, 23. We have a 23. Now, easy 10 would have restored a day of life support. Moderate 15 would restore 3 days. Their entire trip lasts 3 days, so that would have been the entire trip to get back to a spaceport. After that, you're looking at target difficulties of 30 and 31. He didn't quite get there, so it's not going to restore anything more than the 3 days of air and such and consumables. Now, the droids obviously don't need this, but just in case, they've got the backup for the life support pod now. So, as they are doing that, 3Z is going to get to work on actual repairs for the space transport itself so they can get underway. And he's got the 4 dice, that's right. So we get our 4 dice out. First thing he's going to do is replace a power company to restore the lights. Not that droids really need the lights, but better to have it. And it's easy. His target number is an 8. Oh, he rolled a natural 1. Crap. So we're going to keep things rolling and say that, you know what? We're going to have a complication. It doesn't out and out fail. The lights start to come back on and then they start to flicker. And we have a little bit of arcing and sparking, but the lights intermittently works. And now we've got, this obviously has no effect on the droids. But if an organic comes aboard, they're going to be like, oh, epilepsy warning. So there's that. Now, the next thing 3Z is going to run onto. Each of these rolls takes about 15 minutes, so he's in the hour it took to restore the the life support and so on and so forth. He's going to make three more rolls, and then the droids are going to reconvene and see where they're at. The next roll, the next most important roll, is going to be the hyperdrive motivator is on the blink. It needs rewired and reconfigured to restore the hyperdrive. There are two hyperdrives on a ship in Star Wars. You have your main one, usually times two, slower ones like this one that are old and don't work as well. You got a times 2.5. Then you have your backup. This one's a times 18. Now, what that means is in front of the numerical value, you have the times symbol, the X. And what that is basically a normal hyperspace trip from point A to point B. Let's say it takes a day. Your hyperdrive is going to multiply that by its rating. So most standards are times two. So instead of it taking a day, it's going to take 2 days. So you got 2 days from planet A to planet B. Now 2.5 would obviously add another zero point 0.5 on top of that, which is where we are now. That's why the trip's taking 3 days. Now, obviously, if you get to the backup, holy moly jolly, a trip that take 1 day, it's times 18, would take 18 days. Yeah, you're going to be spending a month in space limping along on your backup hyperdrive. Now, so they're obviously going to try to restore the hyperdrive motivator, which will bring the times 2.5 hyperdrive back online. This is a moderate 12. The difficulty number is 12. Oh, we rolled a natty 6. Thank goodness. The natty 1 on the lights had me a little scared, but I guess it was just there for flavor. So we got a 4, so there's 10, 11, 16, 17 total. We beat the target number of 12. The hyperdrive motivator has been rewired and reconfigured by 3Z. Obviously, there was an advantage in that he is an astromech droid. This is right up his alley. And he is restored. You hear it power up, and all the droids are like, hey, we got our hyperdrive back. Sweet. They're not stuck in space with their backup. The third roll, 3 of 4. The sensors will need rewired and reconfigured. They are blown. Sensors are pretty important. You definitely want to have sensors. This is also another moderate 12 roll. 3Z's handling this as well. Oh, let's see, 9, 12, 15. We beat it. Kind of close. We beat it. He rewires and reconfigures the sensors much the same way he rewired and reconfigured the hyperdrive motivator. The sensors come back online. Things are starting to look up. Now, the nav computer is a problem. Without the nav computer, they have no coordinates, they have no maps. The good thing is they have two astromechs as a backup, and they can both roll their astrogation. In fact, they can assist each other, and we'll get to that in a second, if necessary. Now, the nav computer is completely blown. The target number for this is 31, a heroic. The only way they're going to do this is with probably a natty 6 on the luck die. We're going to roll it just to see. You never know what happens, but they're going to try to rewire, reconfigure, reprogram the nav computer in the middle of space. Oh, and they roll a natty 1 on the luck die. Oh my goodness. The droid entity. Not the humanity, the droid entity. Yeah, exactly, R2. Yeah, this isn't good. It's not good. So, yeah, in trying to fix and restore the nav computer, 3Z has actually made it worse. There's flames, there are sparking, there's arcing electricity. In a panic, he backs up like, oh my God. He's going to make an easy 10 repair roll to put the fire out. Yes, there we go. 11, 13. Yeah. He manages to put the fire out so the nav computer isn't completely destroyed, but it is scorched and burnt and of absolutely no use. I mean, the difficulty was heroic before. Now it's just like, forget it. No, you have to dry dock. You have to get this fixed. So they're going to have to limp to their next drop destination. Well, actually, no. They can't go to the drop destination because they weren't programmed with those coordinates. We'll have to see what they can do with their astrogation roll. Let's see here. We've got who's got astrogation? We got 4D for Bomber, the pilot, and we've got for 3Z, he's got 3D. So we're going to go with 4D for Bomber. Now, this is obviously a plus 10 to the difficulty of the roll. We got a 10. Actually, hold on one second here. I need to check something. Righty. So 3Z will be heading the astrogation efforts, using himself as a sort of temporary nav computer. Bomber will be assisting him, and they will try to get their coordinates together since so 3Z has the 4D, Bomber's assisting him, and they're taking their time. So we're going to give him 2 extra dice. The DC is going to be difficult. That range is 16 to 20. Let's see here. Let's see here. We got 19, 21. All right. So it doesn't really matter what specific target number it is, they beat it. Actually, into very difficult territory. So thankfully, they have the coordinates for a nearby planetoid that they can limp towards on their just the stored data they have inside themselves. Now, let's see here. This is obviously unplanned. It's going to add some time onto their trip, so I'm going to arbitrarily add 1d3 days onto their trip because they're going to have to go to the planet they have the coordinates for and not anywhere else. If they attempt to, they'll probably fly through something and that's the end of the adventure. So, no, we don't want that. Oh, yeah, okay. So we're adding 3 more days onto the trip. Lord of mercy. So that's going to complicate things because they were contracted to, get this from point A to point B in 3 days' time total. That's a day to load, day travel, day to offload. That's not going to happen. It's going to be double the time. So that might very well cut into their profits. We'll see. Now, the next situation is we are going on into another hour. The ion drives will need adjusted, clean, and optimized. Not all drives are getting power. They do have a space rating. Space rating is the speed of the ship in space, and it also has an atmospheric speed corresponding to that rating. Right now it's a 2. If they work on it, they can get it up to a 3. And they're not ready to depart anyway, so they're going to try to get that up. Oh, we roll a natty 1. Okay, so yet another complication. We're going to say that, yeah, the target number is 25 and they've got a 7 at best. And yeah, no. So, yeah, in trying to restore the ion drives, 3Z has nav comped them, and now we've got arcs and shorts and sparks and everything, and droids just making all kinds of noise. Nothing's going to plan, blah, but at least they've got the hyperdrive. They can get to a port and get repairs. It's going to take extra time and it's going to be money out of their pockets. So this trip is turning out to be an absolute disaster. We're not going to worry about, well, you know what? We are going to worry about. IG insists that the targeting computer on their one old laser cannon be looked at and possibly restored. Why not? You know, they're not going to be outrunning anybody, so let's see here. We got 13. We beat it by 1. The target was a 12, so we got a 13. So it has been rewired. We've cleaned the crystallization inside the turret and replaced a bad gas valve. It restores the damage on the laser turret from 2D plus 2 to 4D. They possibly could have gotten it up to 5D, but they didn't roll high enough, so no. So, that was part 1 of episode 1. The ship has been restored enough to where they can limp into the next port, and they program the coordinates. They hit punch it, and they come into this planetoid's atmosphere. They're hailed by the planetoid security saying, identify yourself. You're not on the schedule. And they provide their credentials saying, hey, we had a malfunction. Ellie is doing all the talking. She's protocol droid. She's like, apologies. Let's see here. Ellie, what can you do? She's going to attempt. Now, she has a number of skills, where the others have a lot of technical skills. She has the majority of skills in her knowledge. She has alien species, she has bureaucracy, business, cultures, languages, law enforcement, planetary systems, streetwise value, etc. Bargain. So she has a lot of talkie-talkie skills, and we are going to use one of those talkie-talkie skills. We're going to go for bureaucracy, try to navigate the bureaucracy of this planet and negotiate a favorable place to sit down. She rolls a 17. So yes, they're like, "Oh, you've had an emergency. Let's divert you to this emergency landing pad. It has a bay right there, for you." It's just like, "Oh, thanks." Now, of course, you still have to pay, of course. So they fly into the planet very slowly, very haltingly, because a 3Z tried to blow up the ion drives. Not to mention the lights are blinking because that got blown up too. They are a sight pulling into this planet. Bomber. You're gonna have to roll, buddy. Normally, landing is a routine action, no roll needed. However, they have so many things going wrong. Bomber is going to roll space transports. He has 6 total dice. Yes. Can he land the ship without drama? Well, not if you roll a natty 1 on the luck die. Mother of pearl. So, yes. Complication. We're going to say that as the ship is coming in, the ion drives sputter at absolutely the wrong time and do a belly flop into their repair bay. Droids back up like. Dust cloud rises up from the sudden smack of the ship. We're actually going to roll hull for the ship. The ship is actually pretty sturdy. It's got 5 dice hull, so it's a tough old bird. Yes, okay. 19 total. Nice. Nice, very nice. So, it does a belly flop. Any resultant damage is taken by the Gatrock freighters. Thick old hull. Bone rattle, bone rattling thump inside the cockpit. All the droids are just looking around like, Bomber's just like, sorry. The pit droids outside wait kind of a minute before to approach the ship, and of course they've got their pathetic little refueling tube, just being like, I don't think the refueling tube's going to do it for this one. So the droids disembark. Well, okay. Some droids disembark. Ellie will disembark, obviously. She has the best talkie-talkie skills. So she's going to go negotiate and find out how much are they going to owe, how long can they stay here, can they even be repaired here, or is it going to be, oh, you got to see a specialist or something because it's old model. We'll see. IG will want to go with her. She shoots that idea down, saying like, "No, you're an IG unit." When people see IG units, they tend to get when organics see IG units, they tend to get excited. Stay here. He's just kind of like disappointment. So he's going to stay on the ship. Uh, we're going to say Kobe and Gunk will go with Ellie. Gunk just as a precaution, just in case she needs a power up, whatever. And Kobe can take messages back and forth. He's a very fast little droid. So if she needs to get a message to the ship and the comms aren't working for some reason, there we go. Whereas Bomber insists on leaving too. He wants to explore the spaceport. But since nobody has the con skill, they cannot detect that he's actually lying. Because one lesser known fact about Bomber, our intrepid pilot, our R5, is that amongst his piloting skills is an oddball skill under his perception score called gambling. Ballmer likes to gamble. So he's going to go out and he's going to try to find himself a sabat game or something of that nature because he's convinced that droids have a natural advantage in these games of chance, and these organics are unaware, and he's going to take all their money. We'll see. So they disembark, leaving behind 3Z and IG, and I think that's it. Yep, everybody else disembarks. And let's see. So the damage to the ship is obviously extensive. The repairs are going to take a while. Ellie speaks with the repair people, gets the bad news, and she's going to call in to Boars, their loan shark contact boss, whatever you want to call him, the guy who finds them work, but also they're in horrible debt to him. They owe him in excess of 10,000 credits just for getting them a ship. So she's going to make a call into his office, and Boris is not there. Yeah, this is Vimu. Oh, Vimu. I was hoping to speak to Boris. Yeah, Boris ain't here right now. He's out. Why? What are you? What's? Yeah, are you there? Have you delivered the cargo? No, there's been a complication. Our trip is going to be extended, and we will need an advance of credits to afford the repairs. What? You want an advance? You haven't even paid off your initial loan, and now you want more. Oh, we're going to end up owning you droids forever. All right, well, you got our account information. Just have them send the bill to us, and we will happily tack it onto your loan. Now, is this going to cause a delay? Unfortunately, yes. It looks like it's going to be a few days. We're already behind schedule. Oh my, this is terrible. All right, I'll let Boris know. Keep me advised. He closes the communication, and Ellie's just kind of like, ah. So not only are they in massive debt for the ship itself, but now their big lucrative 5,000 credit run has gone south. I mean, it smelled bad to begin with, and now it turns out it may be a cursed run on top of it all. You can't win for losing. So they go out onto the town to try to look around and see, maybe there's some opportunities here. Maybe they can make some credits while they wait for the repairs, something like that. We'll see. So there is their predicament. Now, I actually had a little bit more planned. However, I think this is a good stopping point, as I would say to my players. And we will come back for episode 2, Stranded at the Spaceport. We've got repairs, we've got thrills and chills and danger at every corner. There wasn't a whole lot of blaster fire in this one, but the second episode, I have it on good authority. There's going to be some blaster fire, if you know what I'm saying. So definitely tune in for that. That will be next Sunday, a week from today. And I hope you all enjoyed this little offering from me. I didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to do the voices. I know people are either amused or bemused by me doing a little acting, we'll call it. But anyway, that's we'll hopefully have a lot more in the second episode because I enjoy it and I hope you all enjoy it too. Again, thanks for everybody who stopped by to check out. I know this video went a little long, but it's a solo play, so you got to expect it's going to run a little long when you got an actual adventure. And I hope I'll see you all in the next one. Remember, a week from today, Solo Play Sunday, next Sunday, we will have episode 2 and find out how are the droids going to get out of their predicament, stranded at the spaceport. But again, thanks everybody who stopped by, and I hope to see you in a week. Have a good one.